this session so that I'll be able to share this after this webinar so that you can be referring to it at any given time. So we are having this webinar today. We want to show you, our clients and all farmers, how to explore, to describe more what FarmCloud is, how you're going to explore more on the FarmCloud features, how is FarmCloud applicable in our lives, and any other updates related to FarmCloud. So FarmCloud here is a farm management software that assists us, that is enabling farmers to record their daily work activities, daily farm activities, and also it has an inventory, and you can be able to track even your expenses and get updates and get the weather updates. So at least now with FarmCloud, you'll be able to know, you can be able to get the historical weather, the hourly weather, to plan your farm activities, when to harvest, when to plant. You're able to track all your farm expenses. So at the end of the season, you'll be able to know whether you've made any profit, where you've made the loss, and what you can do about it. So I'm going to demonstrate from the beginning how you're going to access this. It's an app, how you're going to access this app. You can only access it via our website at the moment. So you just go to our website, then you click on FarmCloud. Go to our website. When you get here to products, you click on FarmCloud. So you can be able to get some brief information about what FarmCloud is and everything about FarmCloud. Today, I'm going to start as a person who doesn't have an account or has not experienced anything on FarmCloud. So where you go first is here, you click on sign in to FarmCloud. So when you click on sign in to FarmCloud, such a page is going to display. So you register your name. And don't forget, in case you have any questions, you can post them on the chat. We are going to have a Q&A session where we'll be able to clarify all your questions. So you have to add my number. Then I have to add password here. So they have to match. Okay. And there's an issue with the password. It's too common, so. Mm-hmm. Too common. So yes, so if you are now a new user, it's going now to, after you've filled in on all these boxes here, now you're going to receive an email address where you're going to receive an authentication where you should click on that link to, so that it can take you to the next step where you're going now to log into your account. So this is just the first step you're going to experience. So from here, now you'll be able now to access your account. So let's now move to signing in. So for signing in now, then uh, now you have your email address and your password. It has already been set up. So now you sign in. But also okay, let us proceed to signing in. But also you can find that it will tell you you need to select where you want to receive the authentication code. You can either select email address or your phone number. So it's going to be sent to either. So that's also a step. So don't you worry, in case you experience that, that's also part of the steps you're going to experience. So when you get to FarmCloud, the first step will be to create your farm. So under to create your farm, it is going to take you to, now this is this is a farm that has already been created and populated. But for new users, you're going to be taken to, after you've logged in or sign up your account and logged in, the first step is to create an account. So to set up your farm. So you'll be taken to a page where you'll need to to put in the name of your farm, the location, and the size of your farm. Then from there, that's when it's going to lead you to here. It's such a simple process. Then from here, you're going to get to now this place. So here, we have there summary, daily work reports, by products, weather and satellite, farm staff, expenses and settings. This is our menu. So the first thing when you get to this page, your page is going to be blank. Mine, it has a lot of, because I've populated it already, but yours is going to be blank. But after you've populated it, this is how your dashboard is going to appear. So it is going to bring everything here. So it's a summary of what is happening on your farm. So the first step is here. You come here to to my products. That's the first place you should go when you come to FarmCloud, this dashboard. When you come to my products, you click on farm elements. So farm element can be either greenhouses, screenhouses, shade nets, open field, or any other structure you have at your farm. Remember here we are tracking the crop journey. So it can be any of this here, or plus even anything that is not stated here. So while I'm here, today I'm going to select open field because I want to show you this not only track the journey of plants inside these structures, but also for the ones who are doing farming on open field. So you click on open field, then you come here and select add a block. So I'm assuming that I have a reminder when you are creating your farm. Remember to select the currency that you are using. At the beginning of that other page, when you're creating a farm, there's a section where you're supposed to select the currency. So you can select the currency that is well convenient for you. If you want to use USD, if you want to use Kenya shillings or any other, you can select that. So remember, you're selecting it at the beginning. You won't be able to change it any other time. So you come here, I'm assuming that you have maybe 3 acres. So I'll name my block name in reference to the plant that I'm planting there. So this can be maize block. And then the block size, because if it's a It's an open field. I'm assuming that I've divided my farm into different blocks, planting different plants. So divided the farm into different blocks. So this one, let me assume it is 240 acres. Sorry, 240 square meters. Then the date added is today. But even if you planted like a week ago, you can still adjust it here. Then you add. Don't forget to select the currency that is convenient to you. Then when you come here, the maize block. So we've added the open field block. If you have another block, maybe you are planting maize and also beans and also, let me say, cucumbers. Let me select cucumbers. There's there. Cucumbers block. Then this size can be, let me assume it's going to be 480 square meters. Then the date is today, then I add. So all of the blocks you're going to add, they're going to appear like this. And also maybe you have one greenhouse. We go here to greenhouse and add a greenhouse. I'm going to call this tomatoes greenhouse. So you select here whether it's metallic or wooden. Then select the greenhouse size. It can be 120 square meters. Then the date added is today. So I click on add. So I've added my farm elements. I've added for open field and also for that one greenhouse that I have. So here it is. So I want to add a crop to this element. So I come here on open field. These are the blocks that we've just added recently. So on the maize block, you click on where the name of the farm element is. It is going to redirect you to this page. So I'll select on the far right side. I'm going to select add a plant, then come and add. The name of the plant is maize. Maize, select a variety, so 626. And remember, if the variety you are selecting is not here, you can't see it here, you can always email us at any time, or even just email us with the name of the plant and the variety, because these plants are so many and the varieties are so many. So you can email us at any time. We're going to add it from our end and you're going to view it from your side within a short time. So here I'm going to add the quantity of seedlings or seeds. So maize seeds, I'm going to say 1 kilogram of maize, that pack. Then the projected harvest, I'll estimate it to 10,000 kilograms, then I add. Sorry, now remember, now this is the plant that we're going to track the journey from here, because now we've planted it here on FarmCloud. So we are going to track its journey from planting all the way to harvesting. So we've added under the maize block, we've added the 626 variety maize. Then I go back, we also add the cucumbers. So I can also add a plant here. So you click on add plant. I select the plant is cucumber. Then I select the variety. You select the variety that you are planting. If it's not here, don't give up at this stage. You can always email us or even call us. This one, let me say, so 200 seedlings. Then projected harvest, maybe 5,000 kgs. Then I add the same to the greenhouse. So I've already added the farm element and I've already added the plant. Yes. So from this, now from this step, I'm going to invite my colleague, Stacy, who is going to introduce herself and take you through now the next step. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hello. So I'll be taking you through fertilizer and agrochemicals. Let me just share my screen so that we can proceed. Okay, so I believe my screen is visible to everyone. So as Sarah has explained to you guys, the first step that you should begin at is usually the farm element bits, so that you can indicate the the specific section you have in your farm. I believe that was well explained with Sarah. So the next bit I'm going to cover is going to be fertilizer and agrochemicals. So in this step is actually pretty easy. So all you need to do is you tap on the specific section you want to. So we'll start with fertilizer. So when you're on the fertilizer bit, it will give you the option to add fertilizer. And just a point to note, if by any chance you have a specific fertilizer that it's not here, you can feel free to let us know, and then we can add it for you in the system. So we will select random fertilizer, so we can go with green self. Supplier, we can go with Zinefa. Quantity, we can give an estimate of 100 kilograms. And minimum quantity allowed is usually just to gauge yourself so that you don't run out of fertilizer. So this acts as a guide, if I can put it that way. So if by any chance your fertilizer reaches this specific amount, for today we can see 20 kilograms. So if your fertilizer reaches 20 kilograms, you will be alerted to restock that fertilizer. So for cost, I'm going to assume it costed me a total of 2,500 shillings, and then we add. So it's pretty easy on this section. So we'll do another one for agrochemicals, the same step we've done. You tap on add agrochemical. You select the specific agrochemical you'd love to add. We can go with fighter, and we select supplier. We'll go with Cinefa as well. Quantity, we'll use the same quantity again, which is 100 kilograms. Minimum quantity alert, we'll go with 20 kilograms. The cost will go with the same cost, which is 2,500, and then we add. So every time you add fertilizer, it is going to show you. So as you progress, it adds itself. So I believe that was pretty clear for everyone. I'd love to go to the next step, which is the most important part of the platform, if I can put it that way, which is the daily work report. So on this report is where you will record everything that you did in your farm. As you can see, we have some specific reports indicated, that being fertilizer, agrochemicals, scouting, manual irrigation, pre-harvest, harvest, and other. So yeah, I'll do all of the reports so that everyone can be well conversant with it. So we'll begin with fertilizer. We'll tap on create report. When you tap on create report, you see the first thing that will pop up is select farm elements. I remember when Sarah was explaining, so whatever you chose as your farm element is what you'll key in, but it's nice enough to an extent. When you tap on that section, it will automatically populate for you. So we'll go with this one. And then you'll need to select the plant variety. Depending on what you're growing in your farm, the variety itself will automatically populate itself. So we'll go with New Zealand. And then for me, I can choose. Okay, so just a minute, please. I'll have to add a farm element in order for me to proceed. Quantity of seedlings, I'll go with 100 kilograms. Projected harvest, I can say 10,000, just as an illustration. Okay, so I'm sorry guys, let me just take you back again to now my daily work report so that I can now proceed with adding the reports well. So yeah, let's start from here. We'll select farm element. We'll select the one that I've just added right now. And then plant variety. I've grown sweet peppers, so the plant variety is Buran. The stage is planting. For the fertilizer, we have these two. So I'll go with green salt, the one that we just added recently. So in this section, you usually have the capability to also indicate the time that you added that specific fertilizer. We can go with 1020 and indicate the specific amount we input. So for me today, I'll go with an example of 50 kilograms is what I had put in my farm, and I'll choose the mode of application as a top dressing. So don't mind guys, this is just an illustration. And then we add. So as you can remember, what I had put is green salt. So if I'm to take you back to the fertilizer and agrochemical bit, remember, initially we had 100 kilograms, and in my daily work report, I just indicated that I've used 50 kilograms. So every time you indicate that you've used fertilizer, it is going to deduct on the other side as well, so that by the time it's reaching 20 kilograms, it will be alerted to restock your fertilizer. So if we can proceed and head to agrochemicals. So agrochemical is basically the same thing as fertilizer, but we'll just do it to ensure it's well illustrated. So we'll select farm element, which is going to be block Stacy. The variety, the stage, we'll leave it as that planting. And then the agrochemical, we'll choose fighter, the one that we had put initially. Time, and then quantity, I can say, for example, 30, and then add. Or application method, I can go with broadcasting, and then I add. So the same thing like I had shown you. If we went back to agrochemicals, you'll find that it is now showing that there's a deficit of 30 kilograms from the initial 100 kilograms that we had. So we can proceed. So we have this report known as the scouting report. So the scouting report basically stands for just anything you saw while in your farm. So you might have spotted that your plants are yellowing, or you find that they're actually leafing or flowering. So basically anything you saw in the farm. So I'll use a report I had initially just to show you guys how the report looks like. So as you can see, here I had indicated that on block C, where I'm planting maize, I spotted an armyworm, and you have the capability to upload a picture. Now let me show you guys on the report itself. So this is how the report looks like. So you will select the specific element you have in your farm, the plant variety. In this stage, we can go with rather fruiting, and then you'll give a brief description. We can say crops are doing well and flowering. And then after that, you upload an image, and then you add that scouting report. So that's just it. It's honestly very easy to maneuver the system. Just exactly what I'm doing is how it's supposed to be done. So we'll head to the next report, which is the manual irrigation. So the manual irrigation, I usually say it's very subjective. If some of you know, we have an IoT device known as FarmShield, which automates irrigation. So if you're part of those farmers who have FarmShield with them, you will not fall under this category, but it's fine. I'll still walk you guys through. So you'll tap on create report. You'll select the farm element, select the plant variety, select the stage, which is fruiting, time as well. And then, so for the manual irrigation is slightly different compared to the others, since you have an option to indicate how long did the irrigation take. So we can go with 120 minutes, and you're also supposed to indicates what was the quantity of liters you put. So for this case, you can just give an estimate if you don't have the actual figure. So we can roughly go with 50 liters, and then we add. Sorry, so we also have to indicate the method used for irrigation, so we can go with sprinkling. But if you use a different method, it's okay. You can go ahead and add that specific method. So after the manual irrigation, we have the pre-harvest. So on the pre-harvest reports, it's also slightly different because you have this list. So this list, basically we term it as, it acts as a guidance tool for you to gauge yourself to see if you're actually ready for the harvesting part. So yeah, so let me just walk you guys through. So we'll select the farm elements. And then, so if you can see here, there's a number of lists asking you, there are no chemical present, there are no signs of physical contaminants in the crop area. So this list just acts as a guide before you harvest. And also we have to consider that there are some other farmers who work under an agronomy. So if an agronomist instructs that in this list you have to score a certain mark for you to consider yourself ready, so you'll go as per advice. But if you are an experienced farmer, you can just use this as a guidance tool. So for today, just for illustration, I'll go with yes for everything so that we can proceed. And then we add. And then you'll see that it is indicating that you had created that specific report. And important note I forgot to mention to you guys, in case you want to edit something or you want to delete a specific report, this is where you do so. So when you tap on that, it will give you an option either to edit or to delete. And it's also applicable to these other options as well, not only on the daily work report. So on to my favorite report, which is harvest. I like this report because it basically helps us to see, are we making money or are we actually making losses in our farm? So we'll go straight to create the reports. We will select the specific block, select the plant variety, and the stage is going to be harvesting. So here also we have to indicate the time we harvested. So we can go with just the same time, early in the morning. And then total harvest, I can say, for example, I got a total of 15,000 in kilograms. And rejected harvest. So you have the section for rejected harvest in case not everything reached the market for you to sell. Yeah, and also if anything got lost during transit. So we'll just do an estimate figure. We can say, for example, rejected harvests were roughly 100 kilograms, and harvest lost in transit, go with, for example, 50 kilograms. And also, so after that bit of illustrating the rejected harvest, harvest lost in transit, and the total harvest, you have this bit to indicate how much you sold for per kilogram. So we can go with an estimate value of, let me say, 50 shillings. Yeah, this is just an example. So we'll go with 50 shillings, and then we'll add. So after the harvest section, you have this other option. So we gave you this option just in case we didn't cover a report that you'd love to put. So in case there's anything extra you'd love to indicate, you'll go to create reports for other, and then you indicate whatever report you wanted to put. So after that, I'd love to take you back to summary so that you can see now that it's indicating that we are actually making money. So every time when you reach the harvest section and you key in that information, it will always populate here. It will show you the number of employees. It will show you the crops in production. It will show you the annual yield and also the overview. So on the overview, depending on the dominating color, it will help you see what you're making in your farm. As you can see here, green is the dominating color. So just a clear indication that we're making more money than what we're spending. But before we can proceed, I'd love for us to cover the expenses bit. I believe expense is very much self-explanatory. So anything that you consider as a liability, we will put it here on the expense bit. So what you do rather is go to add expense. And then during add expense, we can choose a random expense. We can go with, let's say, water bills. We'll select supplier. You can indicate other. And cost, we can say, for example, that costed us 50,000 a month, and we made the payment through bank transfer. And then we'll have to give a brief description. So paid water bill on the 30th of August. And just a point to note, when it comes to the expense bill, we made it that you can't add this report if you haven't if you haven't uploaded a receipt. So we made it that way just to ensure transparency in case you're having someone work for you. There's complete transparency. So we'll have to add a file. I'll add a random image. And then we add. So after doing so, as you can see on the status bar, it's still indicating pending. So you also have to approve the expense or reject the expense. Okay, so we'll go with approve since we are the ones in our own farm. So we'll go with approve. So in regards to expense, it's as easy as what I've done. There's nothing difficult to be maneuvered. It's just you added the expense and you indicate the amount and you attach a receipt, and that is it. So I'd love to take you also through farm stuff. So in this section of farm stuff is whereby you have the capability to add people to work for you in your farm. So that is available to a subscribe user. You can select the specific package and then you can add people to your farm. You remember initially when I was showing you guys on the expense bit whereby you will have to approve it. So for example, if you have people working under you, they don't have the capability to approve an expense. Only you as the farm owner have the capability to approve or reject an expense. Okay, so after that, I'll go ahead to the last section, which is going to be, okay, so I believe there's some few questions being asked, so we can probably take the questions before we can proceed to weather and satellite.
Okay, let me read out some few questions, Stacy. So the first one is from Kunle. Kunle is asking, are we adding fertilizers per crop in specific farm area? Example, if I have 20 acre of maize that I have defined in the system FarmCloud. So Kunle is asking whether they are adding the fertilizer per crop in the specific farm area.
Okay, so if I can just take you back, so we have two sections. This first section for fertilizer and agrochemical is just more of stock taking. You will say what you have in your farm. So in this bit is just illustrating I bought this specific quantity and this is what I have. So on the daily work reports, as per your question, you're asking if you're adding the fertilizer per crop. So yes, if I can put it that way, yes, you're adding the fertilizer as per crop, depending on the number of crops you've added. You know, for us today, we've only added one crop for illustration. But if in your case you have a number of crops, and in crop, let's say, for example, in maize, you applied a different fertilizer, in beans, you applied a different fertilizer, it's the same thing. You'll just tap here. It will be the same, you will select if it is in the same farm element or if it's in a different farm element. And then on the plant section is where you will select a different plant. And then you select now the specific fertilizer you inputted in that specific plant. I hope I've been able to address your question.
Also to add on that, even if the this fertilizer and agrochemical section is for inventory. It's for all the agrochemicals and fertilizer that you have at the farm. You can use it to track or to just monitor all the fertilizers you have at the farm. It's not a must you use that fertilizer for a crop. You can just keep it. You can just track it here or populate it here. Then when that time comes for you to use it, then you are going to now to start utilizing it on this app. So you can, all the fertilizers and all the agrochemicals you have at your farm, you can add all that information here. Okay, so we are going to go to the next question. We are going to take like 2-3 questions, then we'll proceed. The rest we'll handle them under Q&A. Then the second one is from Ishmael. Ishmael is asking, have you considered mushroom as a crop in the system? So let me answer this. Yes, this system. So in case you're planting mushroom and you're missing it in the system, just you can email us, Ishmael, mushroom, and if it has different varieties, the specific variety, then we are going to add it from our side. Then within a few, you'll be able to see it in the system. This system, we are tracking all types of crops, all crops, even the perennial crops. We are tracking all crops. So the another one, last one, then we proceed. Thomas is asking, kindly make the image uploading optional. Stacy?
He's requesting if you can make the image on which section? The expense bit or the, because you
Yeah,
have two sections, expense bit and the scouting bit.
I think yes.
Okay, so for the expense bit, I believe it's mandatory just for transparency. That's why it's like that, like you have to indicate, you have to attach a receipt. But for the scouting reports, you don't have to, in case you don't have any picture to upload. As you can see earlier, as I didn't have any picture and it accepted to upload. It's only on the expense bit that you will have to attach a receipt, just for transparency also. And considering how Kerry is with the taxing, it's very beneficial to you as a farmer. Okay. Sarah, are there any further questions?
Yes, they are. Do you want us to continue with them now, or we can handle them later?
We can cover. Okay, we can cover the weather and satellite bit first, and then we can proceed with the questions.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, we are now on this last bit, which is the weather and satellites. So on the weather and satellite section, it basically helps you to see the weather forecasting, and on the satellite section, it helps you see the greenness of your crops. So if I can just show you guys what is supposed to be done. So first, what you need to do is you need to create a farm boundary in order for it to pick up your data. So you will tap on create farm boundary, and then you will have to select a location. So we have a search bar here. Just to make it easy, you can choose a landmark that's closer to your farm, just to make it easier for you to locate your farm. So today I will just go with the random location. Okay, so in this part, sorry. So after you found your specific location, what you're supposed to afterwards, what you're supposed to do is now to plot it. So let me just reset this so that I can walk you guys through. So after you found the specific location you wanted to, you will tap here, and then you'll see these two figures appearing. There's a hand-like figure and there's a polygon-like figure. So if you want to draw, you will tap on the polygon figure. If you want to stop drawing, you will tap on the hand figure. So in our case, we would love to draw. So we'll tap here. So before we proceed, I'd love at least to add a member. Okay. So we'll tap on the polygon section, and then we'll start drawing. So it's not as hard to draw this to plot the farm boundary. So you will just, it's easy to do it. But in case you have any difficulties, reaching out to us is not a problem for us to help you. And then we draw. So once you're done drawing, you will see here that it will populate in hectares, just the land, the size of the land that you had selected. So if this also acts as a guidance tool, because it might not be quite clear for you to know, but if you see the figure, it can probably give you an estimate of, if you have an estimate of the size of your land. So after doing so, we will include a name. We can have it as Farm Stacy, and then we will select the block, which is Block Stacy, and then we'll go ahead and create the report. Sorry, create the farm boundary. So let's choose Farm S and create it. Okay, so it has indicated that the farm boundary has successfully been created. Uh-huh. So as you can see, immediately you create your farm boundary, the weather forecast appears. So you have it in three sections. That is the hourly, daily, and historical section. So, and please note that for the historical bit, you can only future date it back up to 1 year to see the weather forecast. And also after the weather bit, we have the satellite data. So on the satellite data, this basically helps you to see the greenness of your crop. So through these indices we have here, as you maneuver through each and every one of them, you will see that there is a difference in each and every indices. Sarah was requesting if we can probably take some few questions before we can proceed with weather and satellites. Okay. I don't think if there are any questions, so let me proceed.
Stacy, there are questions.
Mm-hmm.
We can take a few. Uh, so I don't know whether you want us to start from where we left.
Yes, we can start from where we left.
Okay. So besides the weather and satellite, there was a question from Shalom. Shalom is asking, is there any tools need to be within the farm? Tools, if you're tracking tools, farm tools.
Okay, I'm not quite sure I've understood her question. Could you just come again, please?
Okay, Shalom is asking, is there any tools need to be within the farm? So I think Shalom is asking whether we are tracking even tools. By tools, I don't know whether Shalom you mean you can specify further. You mean like the farm tools that we use during the planting and maintaining the farm hygiene, like the jembes and the like the hose and any other tool you can specify so that we'll be able to clarify. Then there is a question from Leonard. Leonard is asking, can I use your app in large-scale sheep rearing? Thank you, Leonard. At the moment, this is only for crop. We are tracking the crop, any type of crop. But very soon, we are going to have that one that is going to be able to accommodate those who are doing animal farming. So soon, that's going to happen. So, and last one from Eli Thomas. Eli Thomas wants you to repeat this section of weather data and satellite. So you can go again, go through it again so that Eli is going to understand everything you've done.
Okay, so Ellie, I'll begin again for the weather and satellites. So what we need to do, so when you tap on the weather and satellite bits, the first thing you do is you create your farm boundary. So in order for the data to be interpreted, you need first to create the farm boundary. So you'll create farm boundary. Let me see. Let me select a different location. Okay, so while you're here, Ellie, and to everyone, while you've been able to locate your farm, you will go ahead and you use this polygon to draw. You will tap on that polygon. When you tap on the polygon, you will point on a section you want to draw and then move it around. And then you point again and then you move around like that. So once all the points have connected, you will see that the shape itself will draw. So after that, after doing so, after you've plotted your farm, the next thing you're supposed to do is to enter the name. So we can go with let's say farm G farm G. We select an open field. I don't know if okay. Let's go with block Stacy, and then we will create. So that is the first step when it comes to weather and satellite. You need first to plot the farm boundary. After doing so, you will see now the color has changed to purple one, an indication that you plotted the farm boundary. So on after you plotted the farm boundary and you've created it, you will scroll down and see the forecast. So you have the forecast hourly, daily, and historically. And like I said earlier, the historical weather can be future dated back up to 1 year. So I hope we are clear up till that point. So after you plotted the farm boundary, because that is the main focus, after you plotted the farm boundary, the next section is going to the satellite data. So on the satellite data, this helps you to see the greenness of your crops. So if I can just probably try to explain, these indices, they all have an explanation. We'll ensure that we input it here so that you guys can know what it stands for. Each and every indices has something it stands for. and it has, as you can see here, there is mean, max, median, mean, deviation. So there is a level, or there's a certain level you're supposed to be at. If it's above 1, it's a good sign. If it is below 0.1, it's a bad sign. We'll share a marketing email with you guys just to show an illustration of how to interpret this data for you to see, is the greenness of your crops the right level, or it's not doing well so far. So yeah, Ellie, so that is just basically it when it comes to weather and satellite. Unless there's somewhere specifically you wanted a deeper illustration, you can feel free to let us know.
Okay, so if there are no further questions, Stacey, would you like to answer one or two?
There are questions. Oh, I can see someone is raising their hand.
Okay.
Actually, Leonard is raising his hand.
Mm-hmm. Let me try to unmute her. I've permitted Leonard to talk. Okay, as we wait for Leonard, Eli Thomas is asking, yes, I've remembered he asked when at the beginning of the session, he had asked how do one get financial loans or grants?
Okay, so when it comes to that, Ellie, we are trying to develop something with FarmCloud in that whereby farmers can also get financing as well. So this will be available to the subscribed users. So if you use FarmCloud for 3 to 6 months, constantly recording your records, so you have a chance to get financing. For example, if you would love to get a greenhouse, you will make a 60% down payment, and then the other 40% is financed, and then you can pay up slowly at a 1% interest rate. So yeah, those are some of the benefits we have when it comes to FarmCloud. Yeah.
Okay, so we can answer another one from Stanley.
Mhm.
Stanley is asking, quiz 2 last time, asked if the app apply on poultry production system of farming or on the zero grazing. How far are you in developing it? So I'll take this. About how far we are going to alert our clients and everyone who is using FarmCloud once the one for tracking the animals is ready. But at the moment, we are still working on it. So that when that time comes, when it's ready, all of you are going to be aware of that. So, but you can be able to track your animals, poultry, sheep, indirectly, not directly. Like when you go to, Stacey, you can go to expenses under general expenses.
Okay.
So you can track them. You can still track you can click on add expense so that they'll be able to see the expenses listed there. So for animals at the moment, you can just track their expenses, the ones that are related to them indirectly, like maybe you've leased a farm where you are putting the animals, or the electricity. Maybe it's poultry and you need to, there's a certain light they normally use, the electricity fee for that, for the poultry, or any other expenses that are related to them. So you won't be able to track the journey of the animals, but at least indirectly you'll be able to track the expenses that are related to that venture. I can see we don't have any questions. Stacey, you can proceed.
Okay, so actually, guys, whatever we've done from the beginning, or Sarah showing you the summary page and I walking you through the dashboard, that's just how easy it is to maneuver FarmCloud. So we really urge all of you guys to sign in and create an account and take advantage of this opportunity of tracking your farm records and having everything at the tip of your fingertips, which is very innovative if you ask me. It makes things easier rather than writing things down, the whole Excel sheet. You can have everything illustrated for you through FarmCloud. So I think for now, probably we can leave the floor. If there might be any pending questions from anyone, take this chance, please, to raise the question, and then yeah, it will be amazing to hear from you guys as well. And also, if you'd love to speak, you can let us know and then we can give it a chance to say something. Leonard has raised his hand. Leonard, your mic is not muted. You can go ahead and speak.
Okay, thank you so much, Stacey and the colleague,
You're welcome.
for the arrangement of the meeting and everyone who have joined. So for me, I was having a question. I had applied for a job in Bomet County as a county entrepreneur, and I will be dealing with small stakeholders, the farmers there. Actually, I will be starting the work next week, and I was thinking, oh, can I use maybe the farm cloud to maybe train the farmers and maybe uh, incorporate the system into the practices there in the county, something of that sort.
Okay. So thank you so much, Leonard, for posing the question to us. So I believe first things first is going to be you'll have to identify each and every farmer and what they are growing specifically. And just a point to note, because I do understand the time we had might not have been enough to walk through everything. So, if by any chance, when you go to Bomet and you're having an issue onboarding the farmers that you're working with, you can reach out to me, and we can schedule a meeting, and we can have a virtual meeting, and I can walk you through the whole step. And yeah, I believe with practice, as time goes by, you'll now be able to onboard the farmers by yourself. So the also it will give the farmers a great opportunity to do the inventory keeping on their own as well. So yeah, the floor is open for you to reach out to us anytime in case you need assistance with anything.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, there is another question, Stacy, from Eva. Eva is asking, Eva is saying that she joined late and she's asking if she can get the recording.
Or if she can get the recording.
Yes.
So Eva will work on that for you to get the recording, and then we can reach out to you afterwards. Probably you can text your email so that we can have it for reference, and then after this we can be in communication.
Okay. You can currently what Stacy is showing you at the moment is the free plan. So we have other paid plans. If you want to get an experience of FarmCloud with added benefits, you can create an account here on free plan. You just go through it, learn the account well. Then if you want other added benefits, then you can consider subscribing it to the next plan. There are so many other benefits that are on that other paid plans. And we are looking forward to, and in case you have any other feedback you like us to improve on the app, or want us to set it in a certain way, you can always share with us at any given time. We are looking forward to improving this app to be convenient to any farmer in any part, not only Kenya, but even beyond.
Ellie, I saw you had raised your hand when Leonard was speaking. Hello, Ellie. I saw that you had raised your hand when Leonard was speaking, so I was just wondering if you still have a question to ask. Okay, Stanley has a question. Then probably we can give Stanley a chance to speak as we wait for Ellie. Hi, hi, Stanley. We can't hear you quite well? Yes, now we can hear you. Hello, Stanley. Sorry for cutting you short. Could you just come a bit closer to your speaker? It sounds a bit muffled, or you're quite far.
Okay. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
people have two different and the app accommodates that from the farmer have different what the farmer can do with that.
Stanley, I'm sorry, it still wasn't as clear. Do you mind shooting it through the text? At least we can see.
I have a very text better. You can get on my Q and say,
Sarah, by any chance, are you able to hear Stanley quite clearly?
No, unfortunately, no.
Stanley, do you mind sharing the question through the chat, at least for us to see?
okay.
Leonard, I can see your hand is up as we wait for Stanley to write his question. Do you have something to say? Just a minute. Leonard, I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to unmute you. Can you? Okay, yeah, your mic is unmuted now. Hello.
Okay, thank you again.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about the Geneva. I don't have much information about Geneva, and I've been trying to make to Google and even in LinkedIn, and I was trying to get more information about how it works, maybe about the acquisition of the inputs to the farmers, and maybe if you are in Bomet County, because I will be working there, and maybe there is a way we shall be interacting and maybe sharing some information.
Just to be sure, Stanley, sorry, Leonard, just to be sure I got you correctly. Do you mean purchasing farm inputs through FarmCloud, or just ask us Cinefa if we can provide farm inputs?
Yeah, I'm asking about the Geneva as its own,
Okay, on its own. Okay, understood. So when it
and
comes
maybe
to
and maybe other things that can be the things they execute, and maybe the way you can help the farmers, maybe in rural setups. Yeah.
okay, okay, well understood. So when it comes to the farm inputs, especially seedlings, fertilizers, and agrochemicals, We don't sell them as a separate package unless a customer is purchasing a greenhouse and then they have it as an add-on. Is now when we can be able to give that package all together. So in regards to your question on how we can assist farmers, so through our devices, honestly, and through the products we provide, we ensure that we give the initiative to better to ensure that farming become easier for farmers. For example, through the app we've just gone through right now, FarmCloud, it's very beneficial. I do understand the challenge of probably them being in a rural area, but we have the option for the USSD code whereby someone can request for something offline and then we can reach out to them to assist them. So considering we have you now, that's the good thing. Considering we have you here, you have the knowledge, so you share the knowledge to the farmers. So we also do have our field agents, but as at now we are working on Makueni and Kitui, but we'll also disperse to other regions in Kenya as well. So in case there's any request and the farmer themselves, because we do understand some people just focus on farming only, and sometimes maneuvering might be a challenge. So we do provide agents who will guide farmers in every step of the way to ensure that you're at par and you're not experiencing any issues.
Also to add on
Okay.
that,
Yes.
you see this app, when you use FarmCloud, okay, the information that you populated here, also our agronomist is able to access it, especially now the scouting area. So in case there is any issue at the farm, you can always reach out to us, or there's any issue with any farmer, you need some knowledge on certain crop planting, certain agrochemical, or how to go about any other agronomy issue, you can always reach
Yes.
out to us. Yes, you can always reach out to us at any given time. We are going to assist you with that. Now, see, now this FarmCloud is coming to replace all the for farmers recording things on paper, and even is also coming to replace, not replace, but also at least fasten the agronomy assistance. Instead of waiting for the agronomy to get to the site, you can always get to the agronomist virtually, so that the agronomist will be able to assist you and sort out the issue before it escalates. So FarmCloud is very key in assisting the you farmers, and also you are able to keep your records to plan for better. Once you've completed the entire crop journey or the entire season, you have records from the previous season, and you'll know what you haven't done or what you did in excess. You're going to plan for the next season in a better way. So we are helping farmers to farm with data and removing guesswork out of farming, so that they can improve their yield and increase their profits.
Okay.
Stacy?
Yes, Ellie is, unless Leonard, you have a question before we give Ellie a chance to speak.
You know, the kind of questions I'm asking, I'll be acting as a trainee. So this kind of, I was trying to understand maybe the farm cloud. So in case I want to incorporate, there is no way I can incorporate maybe different farmers which belongs to different farms which belongs to different farmers, or how will it work? Will it be that I will be training the farmers about the farm cloud so that they can be able to do the work themselves from the side, or how will I be able to incorporate the farm cloud, the
Okay,
farmers?
just to be sure if I understood you correctly, do you mean if you can have like your own account, like a Leonard account, and then you want to add those specific farmers that you'll be working with? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, can it work that way, or must it be that every farmer will be having his account or account?
Okay, so you can definitely add, but we advise at least for each and every farmer to have their own account. Cause for starters, I think it's going to be very hard for you to constantly put in the daily work reports of each and every farmer.
Sure.
Yeah, because you can imagine going to a farmer asking fertilizer for today, agrochemical, it's going to be very lengthy. I think, in my opinion, rather, it will be easier to teach them how to use the platform for them to do it themselves. Now, in case of any trouble, they can now reach out to you. But that is just my suggestion, just to facilitate it to be easier to maneuver.
Okay. So let it this way. I will try to understand more about the farm cloud, and when I get into the field, I will try to pass the knowledge and the skills so that they can be able to do the work by their own.
Yeah, and you're free to reach out to us anytime. We'll be here to assist you.
How best can I reach you?
So you can
Through
reach us.
email.
So actually, through our website, there's an option to book an email, and also let me show you guys here. We usually have this chat box here. When you tap on here, you'll see me, and you can go ahead and chat, and I'll respond to you, and we can continue talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further questions from you, Leonard?
Nothing. Thank you so much. I will do more research about how it works, and I will reach you in case I need
Okay,
I have any
perfect.
question.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
All right.
Okay, so
We have
thank you,
a
Leonard. So,
we have a comment from Shalom. Shalom is saying, "Thank you for the great knowledge of FarmCloud," and she hopes we will implement it through this. She hopes that she's going to implement it through this phase of October in the tomatoes farm, in her tomatoes farm. She's
thank you so much for the
Tanzania.
Thank you so much, Shalom, for the kind words. And that's why we're here, to ensure that farming becomes easy for you. Even when you begin your project you've said October, we'll be here to guide you each and every step of the way. So I believe we can give Ellie a chance to speak. I can see his hand is raised. So Ellie, you can proceed.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Uh, I'm Eli from Migori County, Kuria Sub County. Yeah, FarmCloud, I've used it for now like 3 weeks now, and I can tell you that I'm a testimony. This thing is really good, really nice, enjoyable. It makes you want to work every day because now you see how you enter your records. You enjoy. Now my question is, what are the benefits one has if you have to upgrade to the paid package?
Okay, so I can probably share my screen to show you the benefits that each and every package comes with. So just a minute. Okay, let me stop sharing and then I share. Let me share this tab. You can see the benefits. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So if
Yeah.
in our website, in this bit, so if you are on a subscribed package, apart from these options, so these are part of the benefits you get. Get your daily work activities reviewed. Like Star had explained earlier, if you have the records there, it makes it easier for your work to be reviewed. We are There's this option also of connect smart sensors. That is one of our devices, which is called FarmShield. So we'll incorporate in that your data as well for FarmShield will show in FarmCloud, but this is on this package, the gold package. And also we'll also do market linkage, whereby we'll create a platform for buyers and sellers to connect through the platform. And also the one that I discussed on the financing bit. So if you are on the subscribe package, you will get the opportunity to be financed and pay it up on a very low rate, which is 1% rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sarah, unless you have something to add on the benefits for being a subscribed user.
No, you mentioned all. Catherine, maybe you have something? Always
So,
busy.
yeah, Ellie.
Mhm.
So, Ellie, yeah, those are the benefits that come with you being a subscribed user. And also, another benefit will be, you remember when I initially informed you guys that you will have roles that when invited guests will not have. So, if you have the subscribed package, there are roles you can do as the farm owner that the invited guests cannot do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my last question is now, how are your plans maybe to link farmers to financial assistance like loans, grants, and what have you?
Mm-hmm.
Ju-
Sorry, come again.
I'm asking,
Mm-hmm.
what plans do you have in place maybe to help farmers like to access financial assistance like loans or grants?
Okay, so just like I had mentioned earlier, the financing option will be available once you, Ellie, become a subscribed user, whereby you can make a 60% down payment, and then after that, we will now finance it. We will give you some sort of loan for you to get that specific product, and then as you pay up later, you pay up with that interest that I had said earlier, the 1% interest rate. So that is part of the financing programs we will introduce.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No question.
Thank you. So might there be any other question from anyone before we can come to conclusion of this meeting? And probably you can give me a thumbs up just to indicate that there are no further questions from anyone. Okay, perfect. I'll just love to state that it was a pleasure having everyone here, and I do appreciate that it was a very interactive session. And we thank you as the Cinefa team for you joining in today, and we hope that we'll be in collaboration. And in case of anything, feel free to reach out to us. So thank you so much, guys.